Hey, welcome again to this video. Now, I don't know if you watched the video from yesterday, but I have a series called Fixing H5P, and today we're going to talk about an example of that. So we'll see one of the interactions in action today, and it'll be an enhanced interaction. So let's get to it. So here we're at the back end, and we see that we have H5P activated. And also we have my fix activated. Now my fix is a viewer, and it shows you whether your H5P content on your site is protected or not. So let's go to a lesson in Learn Dash, which is over here. It's lesson 1, and it has 2 H5Ps on it. So let's click on this little button here, which my solution, the fix, which is this one. It'll give you this viewer. So we'll click on this, and it shows right here a number, and that's 1. So it says on this page you have 1 H5P that has xAPI coverage. So in reality, if we look at this, we have 1 here, and this is a multiple choice, and then below it we have one of these dialog cards. Now this doesn't have, the dialog card does not have any xAPI coverage. So it's kind of like it's passive. It doesn't really do anything, generate anything. It generates no verbs. You can't really do anything with it. You can't do anything with it actually much as far as changing its behavior or having it trigger things or keeping track of things with H5P off the shelf. Now in my last video I talked about using a mutation observer to get around that. But, you know, that comes at a high expense, and so it's not really something you want to do a lot, especially if you do it with more than 1 or 2 at a time or 3 at a time. So anyway, let's click this little button. And this, again, will parse this page, and it says we have 2 H5Ps on here. The multiple choice, and it has 1 question which is exposed in the browser. And here is the question and the answer. So I should say 1 question with answers exposed in the browser. So if I click on raw JSON, you see in the curly brackets, there's all the answers, blah, blah, blah. So they're exposed, and we all know that. But if we go to the dialog card, we see that there's no xAPI coverage, and there's no really answers in the JSON. I mean, it does send the title and the description and dialogues and things like that, which it'll use then via the JavaScript to formulate the HTML, the markup, but it has no answers here. And another check for that, if you're curious, is you can go to h5p.org, and when you do and look for the dialog card and click this, you see there are no documented xAPI coverage for this content type / application. And another way, if you're really curious, you can just basically go to Google or into AI and say, hey, what H5P, like what do you use for JavaScript to put into the inspector, into the console to see the verbs, not only the verbs but the nouns. So we can grab this, and here's the answer. Let's grab that and copy that. Well, we can just copy it here. And then go back here, and let's get into the inspector. So we'll get the inspector. I'll right-click, choose inspect, and there's other ways to do it, but you go into console, and then you can go ahead and just right-click and choose Control V or paste it in there. There's the script. It's got a method which has an on, which is called on, and it does this, but we'll just hit enter now whenever we do any xAPI manipulation by clicking on something, we'll see the results. So I'll click very dark blue. And then we see the verb, and it's an interacted, so I interacted with this. And there's a full statement that gives the actor, which basically is the person who's doing it. The verbs, here's the verbs. Anyway, this is well above and beyond what we really need to do, but the bottom line is that this one here doesn't have any interaction. It's just dormant, passive. So, you know, it's kind of nice to have this as an example, but if you've ever learned a foreign language or tried to, this really isn't that useful. It's got card 1 of 5, and so as I proceed through this, you know, I can then go to the next card by clicking these buttons. Either back, we'll go next button. So I have to linearly progress through these, and they have no interaction with them, so you can't do anything other than just the user can play with them and enjoy them, but there's no way of filtering out the ones that they already know. I mean, basically with flashcards in foreign languages, you get a whole bunch of flashcards, and a certain percentage of them you're going to learn quickly or know, and you want to filter them out and then replace them. So that's why I've written this example, which is here, and it's called H5P, and it's the fix, part of the fix suite, and this is called the proof, and it's dialogue card spaced repetition. So this is based on the work that Paul Pimsleur did in his language studies. So I'm going to go ahead and just activate this plugin that I've written and go back to the lesson, and then I'm going to go ahead and reset it, reload I should say. And now what you see is I've overwritten the default H5P Dialog card in the settings, and I have my own. And what I do is I have 10 different fruits, and I can flip the card. And first there's an options here. You notice that 0 out of 10 have been mastered. And if I want to click on progress, I can see the progress. And this is the Paul Pimsleur scoring technique. Right now, none have been answered, and so they all say new. But this is called spaced repetition. So the more you answer something correctly, it gets removed. And out of a certain many tries where you answer it correctly, it gets removed completely from the list. And all the other ones will then take their place. So this is just one card, and it gets filled dynamically for the fruits that you're having problems with or need to learn or need to master. So I'll go ahead and hear it.
Manzana.
I'll flip the card. And here I'll put in my answer, apple. I'll hit the enter button, and now it's
Naranja.
correct. It goes to the next word, and now you see I have one correct. And if I look at my progress, this is now at level 1. So as I received this question over 2 or 3 times, I think after 3 times I have it set, it moves out of level 1, and it removes out of the list. And this way, the questions you get in the flashcard with the answers are all dynamically based on the user and their skill. So that's basically just a rough example. And again, what's good about this one is I don't have to use any mutation observer. My JavaScript, which overrides this shortcode that H5P initially created, goes well above and beyond that of what this H5P could possibly do, especially since it can't do anything because it has no xAPI coverage.